Hello everyone, in this video I will analyze and disprove the common claim that gravity can only work on a spherical Earth. The conclusion will be that gravity can work just as well on a flat Earth. I have picked up certain definitions from the following links. Every body is attracted by gravity towards the center of the Earth. A perfect sphere of uniform density, or whose density varies solely with distance from the center, which is called spherical symmetry, would produce a gravitational field of uniform magnitude at all points on its surface, always pointing directly towards the sphere's center. And when an object has the gravity to pull itself into a sphere, astronomers say that it's in hydrostatic equilibrium. And that's why the Earth is round. They say that every object collapses into a spherical shaped object due to gravity and due to the gravity's generator, which is a point at the center of such an object. So now, based on the mentioned data, we can construct the following argument in favor of the Earth's gravitational pull generator. The argument is composed of two premises. The first premise: the phenomenon which causes objects on Earth to be pulled down towards it is called gravity. Gravity manifests on every point of the Earth's surface with equal magnitude and on the same direction. The vector up-down perpendicular to the Earth's surface at the considered point. This phenomenon can be observed and repeated, therefore it is true. So the first premise is true because it can be observed and repeated, can be tested. The second premise: the Earth has a spherical shape. Okay, if we consider the second premise to be true, then it logically follows that the only way gravity can manifest itself as it is observed in reality would be if the generator of gravitational attraction is a single point situated at the center of the sphere Earth, equally distanced from every point of the sphere's surface. We will illustrate this conclusion with a simple drawing. Here we have the drawing. Have considered 5 points on the surface of the Earth. The direction of gravity is as mentioned. At every point on the Earth's surface, on the direction up-down perpendicular to the Earth's surface. So I have constructed the tangents to the Earth's surface, and the perpendiculars to those tangents are the directions of gravity at the considered points. Now let's replace the second premise from the previous argument with the following. We keep the first premise in the argument the same as before, as you can see. It's the definition of gravity, which can be observed and repeated. It's the same as before. And the second premise has been replaced with the Earth has a planar shape, in this case a disk. So now, if we consider the second premise to be true, then it logically follows that the only way gravity can manifest itself as it is observed in reality would be if the generator of gravitational attraction is a plane of points, this time a plane of points, situated underneath the disk Earth's surface. For every point from the Earth's surface, there is a unique generator of gravitational attraction in the shape of a point, equally distanced from the disk's surface. We will illustrate this conclusion with a simple drawing. So in this image we have the disk Earth, the disk from above. We have considered again 5 points on its surface, and this time, instead of a single point which represents the gravity generator, the gravitational attraction generator, we have 5 different points which are exactly underneath the considered points on the surface of the Earth. The direction of gravity is again up-down at every point from the surface of the Earth, and for each such point we have an associated unique gravitational attraction generator which is beneath it, in such a manner that the gravitational attraction generator of the disk Earth is in this case another disk, because all the points from the surface of the Earth, all the points which compose the disk, are translated below to another disk shape. So the gravitational attraction generator can exist whether the Earth has a spherical or a planar shape, the only difference being that its shape is dependent on the shape of the Earth. If the Earth is a sphere, the gravitational attraction generator has the shape of a point at the center, and if the Earth has a planar shape, which means a disk, then the gravitational attraction generator has the shape of a disk. So, knowing the shape of the Earth, we can easily determine what shape the gravitational attraction generator would have. Now we are going to use the reversed argument. We will consider known the shape of the gravitational attraction generator, and we will try to deduct the shape of the Earth based on that. The first argument would become composed of the following premises. The first premise is again the same as before, it is unchanged, and the second premise is this time the generator of gravitational attraction is a single point equally distanced from every point of the Earth's surface. So again, if we consider the second premise to be true, because the first one is true, then it logically follows that the only way gravity can manifest itself as it is observed in reality would be if the shape of the Earth is spherical. The conclusion is obvious, because the only shape which respects the second premise would be a circle if you consider the 2D coordinate system, or a sphere if you consider the three-dimensional coordinate system. The second argument would now become composed of the following premises. The first premise is again the same, and it is true. And the second premise is this time the generator of gravitational attraction is a plane of points, which means more than one point, where every point is equally distanced from the Earth's surface. So if we consider the second premise to be true, then it logically follows that the only way gravity can manifest itself as it is observed in reality would be if the shape of the Earth is planar, in this case a disk. The second conclusion is again obvious, because the only shape which respects the second premise would be a planar shape. if the gravitational attraction generator is a planar shape, a disk, then the only way that each one of its points would maintain a constant and equal distance to the Earth's surface would be if the Earth's surface has also a planar shape, which means a disk. We can clearly observe that the second premises from the arguments are mutually exclusive. So this premise, second premise from the second argument, and the second premise from the first argument, they are mutually exclusive, which means that they can't be both true at the same time, which is obvious because in the first argument we have considered the generator of gravitational attraction to be a single point, and in the second argument we have considered it to be a plane of points, which means more than one point. Okay. So in order to prove the shape of the Earth to be either a sphere or a disk, the corresponding premise should be proved to be true, either from the first or from the second argument. And we are talking about the second premise from each of these arguments. And to conclude, in my opinion, it would be impossible to prove whether the generator of gravitational attraction is a single point or an entire plane of points, because either one would generate the same exact effect when it comes to the behavior of objects which are influenced by it. Therefore, it means that gravity would be equally possible on a planar Earth as well as it would be on a spherical Earth. The existence of gravity is, therefore, not proof in favor of a spherical Earth. Thanks for watching.